Hello, good evening. Welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojo Baka. The Institute of Energy Security is warning of a further surge in the price of crude oil in the coming days if attacks on vessels transporting crude oil and other petroleum products through parts of Africa, Middle East and Europe continue. The attacks predominantly carried out by the Yemen Houthis rebels is due to the current war between Israel and Hamas. Speaking to Joy Business, Executive Director of the IES, Nana Amwesi VII, said the development should be of great concern to Ghana. He's been explaining why.
Been looking at the other choke point, talk of the Suez Canal or the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz, you have more than 21 million barrels of oil moving through that on daily basis, and that is about 22% of the global oil supply. So should they extend the attacks around this area, then of course we are going to see a disruption in global oil supply and a squeeze of supply as well. And anytime you see oil supply challenges, definitely it is going to contribute to a price in the surge or the surge in price of crude oil, and that will impact on the derivatives of the crude oil as well. Freight will be impacted because some of the vessels will be blocked from movement and they cannot move. It means that you have to rely on fuel or what is left to move oil across the globe. And when you have also this challenge, then of course, few vessels movement means that cost of transportation through this medium will go up, and the value of the crude oil itself will potentially go up.
More on energy-related stories. The African Development Bank says it will expand investments within the energy sector to ensure sustainability. The bank says it has observed with great concern the current challenges affecting Ghana's energy sector. Country manager for the bank, Jerusalem Fasika, reiterated the AFDB's commitment to continue to aid in the development of the sector to support businesses. She was speaking at the launch of the PURC Database Management System Phase 2 initiative. Here is more.
The project, themed Effective Utility Sector Regulation through Improved Technology in Ghana, provides a secure multi-tier management systems for all regulatory data with role-based access and front-end capability for processing, reporting, and managing the Commission's operations. The AFDB said it will continue to support initiatives within the energy sector.
The bank has been at the forefront of mainstreaming electricity regulatory issues within the broader power discourse of Africa. This digitalization initiative was born out of the bank's flagship Electricity Regulatory Index for Africa report, which empirically assesses regulatory frameworks of African countries, identify regulatory gaps and bottlenecks, and make recommendations to address them. The initiative underscores the bank's efforts to support regional member countries to improve the quality and effectiveness of energy regulation. I wish to conclude my remarks by reiterating and affirming the African Development Bank's commitment to continue support soft infrastructure initiatives as the projects are to complement the hard infrastructure in the energy sector.
Executive Director at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, Dr. Ishmael Aka, said the system will therefore create an integrated digital platform for the exchange of real-time data and information between the Commission and the regulated utilities.
We have the database management phase 1. That is for more like internal use of PURC to promote efficiency, to cut down printing, and also to help effectively manage our complaint system, to help us to be closer to the customer and make it easier for customers to complain and for us to also build a good record. The second phase is linking the PURC system to that of the utilities. So for instance, if a customer goes to a utility and complain, what happens is that we get an alert that so customer went there at this time. And it also helps us to know when the utility responded to the customer. In this way, we get live data and credible data, not data based on what the utility will write and send us, but we'll have that live data. One, it helps to take regulatory decisions quickly. It also gives us a credible source of data.
The mission-critical project aims to enable the Commission to improve the accuracy and speed of its regulatory decisions, which revolve around the efficient collection, analysis, and monitoring of utility performance data. James Ishen's report for Joy Business.
From energy-related stories, banking consultant Nana Utui Champong is optimistic that the Ghana National Stability Fund will rebuild confidence in the financial sector. Following the beginning of the process to scrutinize requests from banks and other financial institutions, Nana Utui Champong said the sector is gradually recovering from the impact of the DDEP. He spoke earlier on Business Life.
Yes, 100%, because since we've already said that the institutions in the system were affected, it means that their confidence has been damaged to some extent. So we need this thing, and that's why it is said that we have this Ghana Financial Sector Strengthening Strategy, GFSSS. Now, the idea of the fund is to help restore that confidence. So it is very crucial. Already we have seen some rebound, especially in the banking sector, that the provisions that were made have some of them have reversed themselves, and now the banks are showing profit. So I think it was a temporary measure. So in the long term, they will reverse, and therefore the operationalization of this stabilization fund will go to a greater extent to restore the confidence that was unfortunately lost through the DDEP.
Now, government would spend 55.93 billion cedis as interest payments in 2024. That's according to the Institute of Fiscal Studies. This is 21.16 billion cedis higher than the estimated turnover of 2023. Here's more.
2024 budget. It said interest payment for this year is estimated at 34.7 billion cedis, about 4.1% of the size of the economy. Again, non-interest expenditure is budgeted to grow in nominal terms to about 182.3 billion cedis in 2024 from 144.2 billion cedis in 2023. Generally, the Institute said the government expenditure will rise. This is compared to an estimated lower revenue, meaning the government will miss the fiscal deficit of 5.3% in relation to the size of the economy. It's described the 2024 revenue target as over-optimistic and difficult to achieve. Excluding the pandemic-induced outturn of 14.1% of the size of the economy in 2020, total revenue and grants have ranged narrowly between 15% and 15.8% of gross domestic product since 2017, despite the various revenue measures outlined in previous budgets.
And to some other stories, the president of the Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply, Simon Annan, is hopeful the profession will be sanitized after the passage of a practicing bill for members. According to him, the bill, which has been drafted, will ensure transparency and enhance accountability in the public and private procurement practices. The following report has more.
Among others, bill will help develop the needed skills and competencies of participants as far as procurement policies are concerned in both public and private sector organizations. This will help throw more sunlight on the activities of practitioners to stop corruption. Speaking to Joy Business after the annual general meeting of the Institute, Mr. Annan said the bill, when passed into law, will protect the public purse from abuse.
This year, we've made significant progress, and it is appropriate for us to update the members on what we've done. So, most importantly, we've pushed in a lot of effort in advocating for the passage of the Ghana Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply Practicing Bill. This bill, we know, will change the narrative of procurement in Ghana. So as professionals, we want to make sure that the country actually obtains value for money through proper, ethical procurement practices, and that's what we are pushing for.
Informer Charles Monwuba is a director at the United Nations Office for Project Services, Ghana Multi-Country Office.
Procurement is a force for change and can be used to foster innovation, inclusivity, and a bringing of new technology into a country. And when practiced with transparency and accountability, it helps to foster that innovation and yield the public good. Procurement has been used to bring in new ideas into a country by opening it up to competition and not allowing monopoly to happen. Once you open up for innovation, open up for competition, people will come in with new ideas that will transform the country.
Human resource practitioners have been urged to use data to drive innovation and improve the working environment. According to the Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Bright Rekubrobe, the Human Resource Department of every organization must be at the forefront of rapid transformation, which will promote productivity. He was speaking at the HR Outlook and Benchmarking Conference by auditing firm KPMG and the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management. Here's more.
The HR Outlook Conference was used to unveil a new report on human resource development in Ghana, which was conducted by the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management and auditing firm KPMG in Ghana. The survey assessed human resource management in the country and the way forward. Speaking at the launch of the report, Deputy Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Bright Rekubrobe, called for a data-driven innovation to improve productivity.
We owe it a duty to guide, innovate, and create an environment where our human resources can flourish. The workplace is undergoing rapid transformation, and HR must be at the forefront of that driving change, adapting strategies and capitalizing on the opportunities presented by a data-driven era. The conventional borders of HR have evolved, and the advent of data has opened new frontiers. We must redefine HR practice as catalyst for transformation.
President of the Chartered Institute of Human Resources Management, Dr. Edward Kwapong, told journalists that the report will be useful for practitioners as it will keep them informed.
You have a broader space to draw on in terms of what others are doing, what the current practices are. And so I think we needed to do this because on our own in the past, we've also conducted some research. It was organization-based, and most of the time we were Googling to find out what was happening in jurisdictions outside of this country. We need our own survey and research findings to be able to guide us going forward.
Lead researcher for the report, Dr. Eric Afo-Dazi, highlighted some critical outcomes in the survey.
If you look at the cycle, the highlight in the report starts with the top hiring sources. Right? That is to say, where do organizations in Ghana, as far as 2022 is concerned, get their employees from? We saw a surprising addition. I said that we have known this for some time, but it appears that the HR body in Ghana, is not that conservative anymore. They are using social technologies to recruit. So we saw LinkedIn coming first. So there's a balance of the usual conservativeness and then a bit of progressiveness, we can say so. So you are using employee referral, but at the same time, more and more of them are becoming progressive using LinkedIn, to recruit. So that's the first major highlight.
The theme for the conference is Beyond Boundaries, Redefining HR in a Data-Driven World.
To some agri story, food health experts are calling for the speedy implementation of food safety laws to reduce the number of low-quality food sold on the market. According to them, food preparation in Ghana has become increasingly poor, leading to rise in cancers and other communicable diseases. Here is more from the second ACAFP Food Safety Conference for Africa.
Food safety is becoming more important in national, regional, and international trade. In Africa, Food shortages and affordability are two common factors leading many to sleep hungry and consuming unsafe food. To this end, the African Continental Association of Food Protection is organizing a 3-day conference to showcase innovative food safety initiatives to address unsafe food in the country. Speaking to Joy Business, former Dean of the School of Public Health at the University of Health and Allied Sciences, Professor Paul Amuna, said the consumption of unwholesome food is becoming worrying.
For the last 10 years, over 600 million people have had foodborne infections, of which over 420,000 have died. That's how bad it is. Of these deaths, at least 40% are of children under the age of 5. Not only that, but we've also seen that the non-communicable diseases, including cancers, have gone up, and we have millions of people contracting cancers and dying. Now, the thing about cancer is that because of the slow development of many of these cancers, whatever risks there are in our foods, hazards in our foods that we may take over years, we may not be aware of. One example is the aflatoxin coming from the peanuts and then the maize and other grains, for example.
He's therefore calling for the speedy implementation of the food safety laws to help check the canker.
We have policies that have been enacted, they've gone through Parliament. The next stage is implementation. And so what we need to do, and what I am hoping that this conference will achieve partly, is to sensitize people to the need for all of us to work together in order to get the implementation process going.
On her part, board member of the African Continental Association of Food Protection, Dr. Rose Omari, said the conference is critical to help identify the loopholes in ensuring safe food consumption.
This conference that we are having is mainly for us to understand the key issues, the emerging issues related to food safety. As a country, we are not doing well because things are not getting better, things are not improving. It's even worse with when you talk of even mining. When you go to our mining areas now, they are polluting the water bodies, and not only the water bodies, even the foods, the soil is contaminated. The foods that are grown around the mining communities are contaminated.
A 3-day conference is targeting 100 to 150 participants from Africa and around the world, including food safety professionals from industry, research, and academia. For Joy Business, Pius Kujubaka.
Now, the International Telecommunications Union and its partners are set to extend the Digital Transformation Centers initiative by 9 months to September 2024. This means more Ghanaians in rural, marginalized, and underserved communities will actively participate and thrive in the digital economy to better their lives. Ohiming Tewia has more in the following report.
With the support of the International Telecommunications Union and the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, GIFEC is implementing the Digital Transformation Centers, which has seen over 10,000 beneficiaries trained in Fiscal certified basic and intermediate ICT courses. It also saw a total of 202 trainees trained in digital skills. National Project Officer of Digital Transformation Center at ITU, Ale Kojo touted the success story of the program, which has trained more women in ICT as he bemoaned the digital gap between men and women in Ghana.
Our strategic decision to prioritize the empowerment of women is rooted in the firm belief that inclusivity is the key to enhancing Ghana's digital ecosystem. The digital skills gap between males and females is even more staggering. Our mission is to bridge this gap despite the initial project end date of December 2023. I'm happy to share that due to the generosity of NORAD and ITU, the project has been extended until September 2024. This extension allows us to deepen our impact on marginalized individuals, including small business owners, persons with disabilities.
The project, which started in 2021 with the goal of training 17,200, has so far trained 14,600 beneficiaries, leading to the establishment of 30 coding clubs across the country, among others. Administrator of GIFEC, Prince Ofosu-Sefa, revealed a new project to provide fiber-connected free Wi-Fi to 120 community information centers nationwide could soon begin.
Our Cyber Labs program is aimed at improving access to ICT by providing ICT equipment to schools, institutions, and communities. 1,375 centers equipped now, out of which 1,035 are schools, 281 are community ICT centers, such as this very one. We are also excited to soon begin implementing the Ghana Digital Acceleration Project, GIGAP, through government, that is our ministry. The project will provide fiber-connected free Wi-Fi at 120 ICT centers.
Bonrehine, Nana Bobie Ansah II is encouraging local businesses to be ICT inclined to promote the Kente business.
Social media platforms have become powerful marketing channels, enabling entrepreneurs to connect with their audience and promote their products. Together, we can make a mark in the digital sphere and shape the future of entrepreneurship in Bonre.
The Digital Transformation Centers project has equipped 1,375 community information centers. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Oime Interior reporting.
And that's it for Prime Business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, do log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Do have a lovely evening.